All right. Good morning, everybody. Early Morning Crypto Talk, Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. Let's see, we've got Marty Bali, Victoria, Texas. Nicholas Martinson, Bethany Gibbs from Seattle. Lauren Vasquez. Anissa Jenkins from New Jersey. Court Gomes. Barbara Brown from Vallejo, California. Clevie Stewart from New York City. Today is Friday, the end of another week. Getting ready for the weekend as we run up to the Christmas holidays and New Year's. See Court from Florida, Guyana. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. All right. My audio should be back. Testing, testing. If you guys can hear me, make sure you type Y in the chat box. I should have used my brand new blockchain SIM card phone. I'm going to do that next time to see if I ever have drop calls, because Verizon be dropping me every now and then. I'm going to have to check on that. All right, so let me get this thing set up here. So you should be able to see my screen. First thing we do is going to look at the home market cap. What is it telling us? What story are we reading today? Market cap's back down to $102 billion. So it lost of almost $2 billion on the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance, though, rose to 55.2%, which meant most of that loss came from the altcoins. Bitcoin down right now, -5% at 32.35. Let's see, Ripple's down. Ripple's only 28 cents. Ethereum, 84 cents. I'm sorry, $84. Stellar's down 11%. Tether, EOS, Bitcoin Cash is down 15%, and Bitcoin SV is down 10%. Both of those are about to be below $80 per coin. What about the best performers? Ravane, 8%. Not much, nobody. Just the stable coins. You guys see how many stable coins there are now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stable coins that's rising up. Worst performers over the past 24 hours. Is Maker Bitcoin Cash. Dex is down 54%. Mobile Go, Maker, Wax, Bitcoin Cash, Omize Go, Stratus, Stellar, Bitcoin SV. So the bears are still here. EOS, which is not surprising. Starting to think that Craig Wright running his mouth last month saying, I'm going to see this thing down to 1,500 is going to come true. Let's look at the latest article. Oh, wait a second. I just got some more crypto news. Let's see what just popped out. Bullhound 2019 will be the year of crypto. A beginner's guide to atomic swaps. Tom Lee, 150K per Bitcoin is fair value. German stock crypto trading platform. ICO guide. You know what? This is straight up market manipulation. All this good news, nothing but positive news. You would think the market would be doing the reverse. If it was 2017, it would. It would. But it's doing the opposite, which means the word is getting out. So the institutional guys are forcing the price down to gobble up as many coins as they can. I saw an article yesterday. I didn't have a chance to read it, and I don't know where it popped up. That said, if you took away the market manipulation right now, Bitcoin's true value right now is around $14,000 a coin. If you took away the futures, that's where it would be right now, for about $14,000 a coin. So when the rubber band snaps back, I expect it to go double that, higher, close to $30,000, and then to have a sell-off and settle at around that $12,000 to $15,000 range, if you don't have the market manipulation. But we do, so you got to deal with it. So let's look at this latest news flash. Bitcoin price slinks below 3175 for the first time in 2018. I saw somebody made a post yesterday that said, I can't believe Bitcoin went from $20,000 to $3,400 in 12 months. And you know what my reply was? I can't believe Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $20,000 in 12 months. It's all in the perspective. Is the glass half full or half empty? So this is what, 3,100. Wait a minute. CoinMarketCap saying it's at 3,200. What's the real deal? Last price 3,220. I got to pull this back a bit. Look at the last 6 hours and 5-minute chart. 24 minutes, 24-hour chart. So squeeze, and it came down. And they split, but they're still down. So I expect this to continue to drop. 24-hour high was 33.99. The low was 32.04. We're at 32.17. Yeah, this is going to continue to drop. The whole market. Bank Core's at 0. Okay, that's what the article's saying. And what is becoming a disturbingly common occurrence? The Bitcoin price on Friday set yet another fresh yearly low, slinking below the $3,200 mark for the first time in 2018. Is that bot still operating? Let me see. Yep. 50 Bitcoin. Got a sell order at 32.38 and a buy order. Whoa, what is this one? 79 Bitcoin in here, $254,000 for a buy order. And, oh, we got another player on the books. What is his buy order at? 3,200. We got a player here that is about to buy almost $300,000 worth of Bitcoin at $3,200. Talk about buying it on the cheap. Let me see, do they have an equal sell order here? All right, so that is not a day trader. This is a whale that is spotting something. Spotting something big time. 79 Bitcoin. Because the bot is still here at 50 Bitcoin. It's got a buy order at 31.92. So the bot is playing the market. This guy has figured something out. All of a sudden, you got a buy order for $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. This is what I'm talking about. He sat there and waited for everybody to sell their coins, push the price all the way down, and then boom, going to make a huge buy order, buying up all the coins you guys are selling. And then he's probably going to sit on it. That $250,000 investment could end up growing to 2 to 3 million in a couple of months. How can that happen? The price of Bitcoin, the entire coin market cap jumps from at the $100 billion mark, and that jumps back up to 400, 500 billion. Then we get to 700, 800 billion. That person's going to make a killing. All right, I'm glad I spotted that. So I'm starting to see, that's giving me a sign that some of the whales are sitting on the sideline, the institutional guys, they're coming in and buying the dip. I wonder who account that is. 64 Bitcoin. And I'm gonna pay attention to see if I spot any more of those. Maybe go to Binance and look. Bittrex. Here's another one. We got 19 Bitcoin sell order. 50 Bitcoin sell order. Nothing else major. Everything else is small. All right, back to the article. Interesting. Look at this. $3,200 mark. That's why they put it there. The flagship currencies move below 3,200 came shortly after 1,600 hours following an unsuccessful breakout attempt earlier in the week. As of the time of writing, the Bitcoin price was trading at 31.87 on Bitstamp before briefly dipping as far as 31.71. The total crypto market, meanwhile, had seen its value slip to 102 billion, or roughly 37% of the size of Bitcoin's singular market cap on this date last year. There were, of course, laughable attempts at explaining today's sluggish performance, including at least one that connected it to the report that bomb hoaxers had attempted to extort crypto payments from unwitting victims located across the globe. However, as is often the case, there does not appear to have been a clear trigger for the move, outside of the continued downward pressure that has plagued the market throughout the year and will continue to do so until BTC can establish a firm bottom. What is that plague that is forcing that pressure? That's the futures. That's the futures market that's doing that. The question, when they decide to reverse it, is when Bitcoin price will reverse. Here I saw it. Bitcoin's fair market price is $14,800. I'm going to save that one. Might end up doing that tomorrow morning or something. All right. Next article up. I want to talk about Porsche. Remember we read that article maybe 2 weeks ago. It said there's no real use case of blockchain technology. Nobody's out there really using it. Really? That's just lazy. That's not even turning on your computer. Because if you turn on your computer, you're going to see stuff like this. Porsche arranges a $170 million loan using BB of A's blockchain platform. The banks got their own blockchain platform, huh? Yet the critics say there's no use for blockchain technology. Prestige car maker Porsche has arranged a loan to back its proposed strategic acquisitions using Spanish bank BBVA's ever-developing distributed ledger technology. Notice that. Whenever you're dealing with the banks and the governments, they never say blockchain. They say distributed ledger technology. It's the same thing. Why do they use a different name? Because the sheep out there, the uneducated people, when they hear blockchain, they automatically attribute it to Bitcoin. So the banks figure out we got to separate Bitcoin from the technology. So let's not call it blockchain. We'll just go by, its scientific name, distributed ledger technology. So nobody, the sheep out there don't know that that's attached to Bitcoin. The loan, valued at 150 million pounds, the equivalent of nearly $170 million, is, says a press release, the first acquisition term loan ever arranged through blockchain technology. The first. You guys are alive to witness the first ever loan arranged through blockchain technology. Imagine you being the first, or being around to see the first email ever sent, the first music ever downloaded off the internet, the first selfie ever taken and posted to Instagram. You got to appreciate the times we are in right now. Acquisition term loans are provided for a specific purpose and period. In this case, Porsche Holdings Salzburg, a subsidiary of Volkswagen AG, is seeking to expand its retail distribution network in Europe and Asia. The pilot also makes Porsche still the largest automotive distributor in Europe, the first non-Spanish borrower to use BBVA DLT to negotiate and close a corporate loan. Frank Hofnagels, head of Banco Bilbao, corporate investment banking in Germany, is proud to be on a common blockchain path with such a long-standing partner. He adds, this transaction is all about putting blockchain technology into meaningful practice in the interactions with our clients. He illustrates a key next step for blockchain technology after numerous pilots in the sector. The expectation now is to see more real blockchain use cases and applications. For BBVA, which has been actively working on its technology for some time, this is obviously important. BBVA hopes to use blockchain to automate negotiation processes and minimize operational risks as well as improving the client experience. The bank plans to progress towards a do-it-yourself financing model for its business and corporate clients. The bank says blockchain technology also ensures traceability and immutability, making the documentation process safer and more transparent. That's a quote right there. BBVA believes its latest blockchain transaction demonstrates how new technologies can provide a leap in efficiency in financial markets, something again that forms the basis of blockchain's promise. Dominic Passenger, branch manager of Porsche Corporate Finance Belgium, says digitalization is a key part of Porsche Holdings Strategy 2025, and that the goal is to advance in all fields of activity. We think that blockchain technology has great potential. BBVA has also recently used its blockchain platform to finalize a syndicated loan for Red Electrica of the same value and extend a line of credit with Repsol worth $325 million or $367 million. It has previously trialed distributed ledger loan processes using both Ethereum and Ripple blockchain successfully, naming itself the first global bank to successfully complete blockchain-based corporate lending. Now, if they're the first to do it and they have competitors, what do you think the competition's going to do? Whether they like it or not, if they want to remain relevant, if they want to survive, they have to be able to compete. So they're going to do and follow in the same footsteps as BBVA. In fact, it's not like they're just starting now. Bank of America's already got 70-something freaking patents. Chase Morgan also has, I think, 40-something patents now. So they're all going to do this. The infrastructure is being built. And we are sitting here watching it happen. We got to jump in on this and take advantage of it. All right, and the last article, written by author I do not like, Kai Sedgwick. I question his competence in crypto, but so far lately he's been pretty okay. These two analogies will help you explain Bitcoin to anyone. Okay, let's see what you got to say, Kai. Explaining Bitcoin to someone who knows nothing about Bitcoin isn't easy. If you went through the KGX training, then it is. In fact, it's fiendishly tricky. No, it's not. Describing concepts such as blockchain, decentralized networks, and permissionless ledgers to beginners is as tough as describing the color orange to a blind person or the taste of an orange to someone who's never peeled one. Wrong. See, let me just share how I would break down this to someone who's never heard of it before in simple layman's terms. And then I'm going to finish reading this article and see if he can come up with a more simpler way. Here's what I say to people. I say, do you realize that money is always evolving and changing? No longer are we walking around with a whole bunch of cash in our pockets. We now use our debit cards for everything. Wouldn't you agree? The person I'm speaking to will say yes. And I say, and don't we know that the internet has really taken over and made the world much smaller and made businesses much easier, and now people are able to shop online? Isn't that correct? Yeah. Well, have you ever bought anything online before? Absolutely. And then I say, and this development is going to continue because there's new technology that's now creating digital money. Since you're already not using cash anyway, the next evolution of money is moving from credit cards and debit cards to digital money. And the benefit of this digital money is that it's not controlled by a bank, is not controlled by the government, is not controlled by a company. There's no CEO to manipulate it. It's inflation proof. There's only going to be 21 million of it. And the value of it is going to continue to rise as long as there's going to be a huge demand for it. You want to know the best part is? You can now do transactions with people anywhere around the world without having to use Western Union, without having to go through a bank, without having to wait 5 days or a week. The transaction is instantaneous and the fees are little. In fact, the value of this money is the same all around the world, so you don't have to worry about having to do conversions. That new technology is called Bitcoin, and nobody knows about it yet, and you're the first to get in on this. Now, that makes sense. I didn't have to talk about all the technical. Well, let me ask you guys that question. Let me know in the chat box if what I just said, if you had never heard of Bitcoin, does that make sense? Or was that confusing, what I just said? Let me know, because that is what you guys should be saying to other people. That's how I broke it down to my mom. Mom, how would you like to eliminate having to use the banks, having to use Western Union, having to wait a week or to move money around? How would you like it to be instantaneous and never have to worry about losing the value of it long term like inflation does? That's it. All right. Now that I got that, how I say it, let's see what Kai has to say. Maybe I'm going to learn something new. Complete the following sentence. Bitcoin is like what? You can't complete that sentence because Bitcoin has never been done before. All right, Kai is starting to get my blood pressure up already, and I'm only on the second paragraph. Defining Bitcoin isn't easy. Yes, it is. I just defined it. Hell, even Bitcoiners can't agree on what the cryptocurrency is designed for, be it a store of value, medium of exchange, or a form of censorship-resistant money. Why can't it be all of the above? Not everybody uses money the same way. Some people use money to buy goods. Other people use money as put it in their savings account. And not to buy. You have other people use money as money laundering. Other people use money for drugs. It's not just one thing. Everything that regular cash is used for towards Bitcoin. Two very different but equally compelling analogies provide a fresh take on Bitcoin. One likens it to text messaging, the other to fungus. What? Both are effective in driving their point home, with the text messaging comparison particularly suited to Bitcoin beginners. Okay. If this is good, I'll use it. Bitcoin is like text messaging, advanced by Beautyon on the Bitcoin Matters podcast and then transcribed by David Vanderweel on Twitter. The first analogy goes as follows. Bitcoin operates like text messaging, only instead of words, you can only send numbers. Those numbers are called Bitcoins, and because their supply is limited, unlike text messages, which are infinite, they can serve as a form of money. I'm already confused. Continuing the analogy, Vanderweel explains how anybody can download a Bitcoin app on their phone and start using it to buy things online or receive Bitcoin for doing work for others. This is similar to text messaging apps such as WhatsApp, where it is necessary only for the other person to install the application, whereupon anyone in the world can message them. Rounding off the Bitcoin as text messaging analogy, Vanderweel summarizes, question, why is Bitcoin worth anything at all? My texts aren't worth anything. My tweets aren't worth anything. What's the deal with that? Reason why a Bitcoin message can have value in the market is because the supply is limited. There are unlimited amount of numbers of messages that can be made on WhatsApp, Twitter, that are unique to you, but infinitely reproducible. With Bitcoin, the messages you receive are not reproducible. They are limited in number. I understand that, but the average person ain't going to understand that. Already, I don't like this analogy. So, It's like having a limited physical object that is a digital thing. So that's the breakthrough. Why Bitcoin is exciting and amazing. Okay. Somebody found a way to make something that is naturally abundant scarce. That's why Bitcoin can be a replacement of money, totally digital. Nah, I don't like that analogy. I'd rather say, how many of you were screwed over in 2008 by the federal government who allowed big banks and mortgage companies to initiate the biggest financial crash since the Great Depression? How many of you lost all your money, your savings, your 401k, and your jobs? And more importantly, you lost trust in the system's ability to protect you. How many of you? Raise your hand. Everybody raises their hand. What if I told you there is a new currency in place that does not allow the government to be able to manipulate your money, that you're not going to lose value in inflation like you did with your own money, that you control your own money and can do transactions instantaneous without the need of bank fees and a third party? How many of you would like that? Raise your hand. Everybody raise their hand. Guess what? That currency is here and it's called Bitcoin. Are you ready to learn more? How's that hard to explain? I'm just saying. You got to go through all this. Not everybody knows what freaking WhatsApp is and text messages and how this and that. It just confused me even more. So I don't like that analogy. Maybe you guys like that analogy. But let's go to their second analogy. Analogy 2. Bitcoin is like fungus. Fungus? What? While less relatable to the average person, the second Bitcoin analogy to have garnered attention this week is arguably more accurate. The only downside is that to fully appreciate it, a degree of familiarity with eukaryotic organisms is required. Well, let's stop right there. What the hell, man? You said that this is supposed to be something that the average person can understand, and you come out talking about eukaryotic organisms, and that's what you're going to use to try to explain Bitcoin? The concept advanced by Brandon, oh, he's got to be a Brandon, huh? Brandon Quittem, is that the Bitcoin network, made up of nodes, miners, wallets, and other points of access, spreads just like fungus, which has been described as Earth's natural internet. Fungi don't have a central brain, explains Quittem. They're decentralized networks distributing information and resources. These fungal networks form consensus on resource. I'm just picturing my mom sitting across from me, and I'm trying to explain the Bitcoin here using fungus as an example. And I'm saying, yeah, mom, it's like fungi. You know, fungi don't have a central brain. You know, I'm going to send you a report on this eukaryotic organism so you know what it means. And they form like a consensus. So there's reproduction and defense strategy. And, it's a fitting name that mycelium, which is many Bitcoiners associate with the wallet, BTC wallet. Yeah, so you got to have a wallet for these fungus stuff. And really? Just get on KGX and let us teach you. I'm not even reading the rest of this crap. This was a useless article. Maybe you can get away with analogy number 1. Bitcoin is like text messaging. But that ain't going to cut it. To somebody who had never heard of Bitcoin, you got to equate it to money. That is how you equate it. Show them how it's related to money. Why it's the new version of money. Why it's better than the old version of money. That is how you explain it to people. And that's exactly what KGX does. You got me up pacing around right now reading that. I mean, don't make it difficult. It's a simple process. In fact, an 11-year-old figured it out. If you haven't done so, go to Amazon and order a book that was written by an 11-year-old in 2017 titled The Early Bird Gets the Bitcoin. An 11-year-old was able to break it down in a simple little book. The Early Bird Gets the Bitcoin. I made my kids read the book. All right. In fact, I'm going to start. This gave me an idea. I'm gonna just to make sure people in our network are getting this. And when I do, maybe it's on Wednesday or whatever, but I'm going to start calling people out and I'm going to say, so and so, tell me what Bitcoin is. I want to see if you guys are actually can. It's one thing to hear it. Can you describe it yourself? And I want to make sure all those in the KGX community are able to describe Bitcoin. You don't need to memorize stuff to describe Bitcoin. I want you to be able to describe it from your heart, from common sense. Yeah, you can understand the basics of it, but the ability to tell a story in your own version is what's going to make the difference to other people you know. So we're going to start that. I'm going to make sure, okay, you guys went through this education course. What is Bitcoin? And then I will go from that to what is the blockchain? See, two things I tell people this. Cryptocurrencies represent the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. There's no barrier of entry. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your sex, your creed. It doesn't matter where you were born, the color of your skin, male or female, rich or poor. As long as you have a cell phone, internet access, and a willingness to learn, you have the ability to achieve wealth for you and your family because of cryptocurrency. The technology that sits on it is a blockchain. The blockchain represents the greatest invention since the internet. It is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today. There's no escaping it. It is as important as agriculture. Vladimir Putin even said that the Stone Age didn't end due to the lack of stones. The Stone Age ended due to the introduction of better technology. And that is what the blockchain is. And the rest of the world hasn't figured it out yet, but you do. Now, how am I able to say these things? Am I reading from a script? No. It's because it's like riding a bike. When you do it over and over again, you don't have to think about it. You just do it. You just know it. I'm passionate about it. I'm reading about this stuff every single day. And the more you read, the more that you engage, then the easier the vocabulary comes out of your mouth. Same with anything that you want to become a professional in. The more you engage in the activity, the easier it is for you to regurgitate it. If you're not using, it's like muscle. If you're not working out in the gym, you're not growing. Same in crypto. If you're not, that's why I say for people who tell me, yeah, I've been in crypto for 5 years. And I'm like, really? Yet you still don't get it and understand it? You might have been an expert in 2014, but you haven't continued your education since? You don't know the laws on place? You don't know how it's evolving? You don't even realize, here's one thing I even know. The blockchain is not going to be the end all. It's the first version. There's better technology that's already been developed, better than the blockchain. The blockchain is like Blockbuster or MySpace, and there's new technology behind that that's going to be like Facebook, Netflix, that's built on top of the blockchain. I know this because I'm reading. And knowledge turns into money. All right? So yeah, we're going to start that up. I'm going to start doing that. And I'm going to ask people, what is Bitcoin? What is blockchain? You got to be able to describe it and do so with confidence, not like this. Where I can already see, I'm going to ask somebody, what's Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin, it was created in 2008. Somebody, his name was Satoshi Nakamoto, and then it's like this digital currency that you can transfer. between people. It's decentralized. No. I don't want you to give me the definition of Bitcoin. Tell me, what is it? Meaning, how is it applied? How is it impacting the world? What is Bitcoin? It's like saying, what is love? You can give me a definition of love, but no, tell me the feeling of it. Love is the ability not to be able to think clearly because you're so entrenched in another individual. Love is where all rationality goes out the window. That you feel uneasy and sometimes queasy with excitement and anxiety. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's euphoric. It's something that you seek and desire and you want to hold on to. That's not the definition of love. I'm giving you the feeling of it. What is it? What is happy? What is Bitcoin? You guys feeling me here? Understanding what I'm saying? And for those of you who always say, man, I can't recruit. I can't bring nobody in the business. Stop trying to. See, what I do is I tell them, what is Bitcoin and how is it going to impact your life? They come and start to buy. I don't have to sell. And Robert, you're right. I was at the Blockchain Expo with the Blockchain Education Summit group. I met with the CEO. I interviewed him. And he's got a contract to be bringing blockchain education to all the UC schools. So UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC Riverside, UC San Diego. Robert, I'm sounding like a DJ. I'm just saying, when you get this down, you will be able to recruit the world. You'll have a huge team. You don't need to sound like a robot. This is why you got to eternalize. You got to be passionate about what you're doing. Not this Kai Segwick clown that wants to try to make an analogy to fungus. Really? Ain't nothing sexy about that. I can make an analogy to Bitcoin with love. Have everybody fall in love with Bitcoin because I'm talking about love. Anyways, that is it for today. This is Friday, which means I don't do late night crypto talk. I'm going to be going out watching Black Spider-Man tonight. Oh, wait a minute. What is it called again? Spider-Verse or something? Spider-Verse with the family. Looking forward to that. And tomorrow morning, I'll do a quick crypto talk. But I will be doing the KGX training tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on KGXglobal.info. KGXglobal.info tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I'll be doing an early morning crypto talk. So come out for that. Those of you in Tampa, you're going to see Diana Townsend. She's going to be in Tampa tomorrow. And we are halfway through the month of December. Let's move, let's roll. Everybody have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Robert says, where's the music? Well, you know what? I had to roll with today. I had to roll with, because this whole month is all about the 90s for me. And we are halfway through the month of Paparazzi. All right, everybody. See you all next time. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.